Honestly, this isn't one I feel comfortable telling people to go support.
There are some technical things to appreciate about this movie. It's not the worst big-budget Nollywood film out there. Actually, you can't dislike The Lost of Koroshi and you can't love Chief Daddy. That's the only rules. The only rules of the Iroko Critic Club. Yeah.
We generally recommend movies, and I don't know that we've not recommended
Chief Daddy.
We didn't review Chief Daddy now, did we?
We did.
We did, yeah.
We
sorry,
did,
I
right.
blocked out that memory.
Welcome to Iroko Critic.
Critics with receipts.
I'm Mrs. Critic.
And I'm Mr. Critic.
And we're here with our trusted editor, Donatus.
Donatus, say hi. So we're here to talk about a new Netflix Nollywood original that we haven't talked about yet.
A Niger Christmas?
Let's get married.
Well, no. Look, we'll get to that. I'm talking about a different Netflix original, a sequel that disappointed the masses. I'm talking about
King of Boys Volume 2?
No. God damn it. I get it. We have a long backlog to get to. We will get to them. Today we're talking about one of the worst big budget Nollywood films I've ever seen.
Choo-choo, budget down.
Chief Daddy 2.
The worst. You can just say the word.
I actually think Chief Daddy is worse.
What? Are you serious?
It's serious as a stroke.
Are you sure you don't have a stroke?
Okay, you want to debate this?
I'm ready. Let's do a versus.
Wow. So you really want to defend Chief Daddy?
Are you really going to defend Chief Daddy 2?
Wow. I guess so. Your movie is not funny.
Your movie is not funny.
I feel like we're just going round and round in circles and we're not even making any progress.
At least my movie tried to make jokes. Remember the scene
where Fowles did the first day as a hitman joke that was literally overdone a year ago?
Yeah, but you know, like...
Your movie owes TikTok royalties.
Whatever, comedy is subjective anyway. Let's do the technical stuff. The lighting is much more interesting in my movies. There's at least an attempt to do something other than the boring flat lighting that Chief Daddy does. It's so uninteresting and dull. At least Chief Daddy 2 tries to do something different with the lighting, even if it doesn't always do well.
No, say that last part again.
I said, yeah.
So you're going to mention lighting and not mention that the lighting in Chief Daddy 2 is sometimes non-existent and most times harsh?
Well,
and the contrast is unnaturally cranked up, which, whatever, the saturation is overly done and not to my taste, but it also makes the dark spots darker, which is more suitable to horror, not comedy. Oh wait, I guess that works.
Chief Daddy 2 is a horror movie now?
Didn't you see the aliens with the red skin? Stop trying to divert the topic. Audio in this is so much worse. I'm not really sure why I'm hearing echoes. Mic scratches.
So wait.
Why are some of the characters who have speaking roles not mic'd up? Because the quality of the audio is...
Yeah, I know it's worse in some people because their mic is either not working or they don't have one.
Were you sent by the devil or something?
Oh, she's the devil herself.
It's not like your movie doesn't have a lot of clipping.
What's clipping?
It's when you speak too loud or shout into the mic and it sounds horrible.
Oh, so Chief Daddy 2 doesn't have clipping?
I don't remember. Maybe
the movie with Brother Shaggy.
Wait, come, let me show you.
You know what? The technical stuff is boring. Let's talk about something else. Donatus! We have other locations in my film outside Chief Daddy's house.
We do too.
Hey, yeah, but majority of your film is done in Chief Daddy's house, especially the living room where Chief Daddy dies. Let's call it the dying room.
Ugh.
Furthermore, I think you'll find my film takes place in different countries.
Yeah, I saw all the drone shots.
Wow, cheap shot.
No, but seriously, was there any real need to go to Dubai?
Let's stick to locations. We'll get to the story later.
No. You can't separate location from the story. The location is only as interesting as much as it adds to the story.
Don't hate because my movie spent more money.
And manages to look cheaper than mine.
You're very mean today.
My movie also made almost 400 million in box office and was more universally loved.
Look, Chief Daddy 2 was #1 on Netflix for days, beating our Hollywood movies.
Yes, from hate watching.
Wow, wait now, you know Netflix is a tough crowd. By the time people dress up and go to the cinema, they're already prepared to enjoy themselves.
Sure, the day 3 pajamas and cereal for dinner crowd are so much harder to please than those who pay transport and endure traffic.
Hey, those who dress up and pay transport and pay cinema ticket to go see Chief Daddy are people who really wanted to see Chief Daddy and more likely to like it. Meanwhile, you could have literally just casually finished watching Don't Look Up in your pajamas and Netflix recommended Chief Daddy 2 and he made the transition.
Speaking of awful transitions, Chief Daddy 2.
Here's what we're gonna do.
Yes.
Look.
So,
At least it's trying something.
To try and keep the children from falling asleep?
Wow, my film is for adults, please.
Wait, why is that? Shouldn't this really be a PG-rated film?
It's the same reason your movie isn't a PG-rated film.
Nah, this is bollocks. Yeah, and you lot better listen.
He is so much worse in yours though.
So I before. What, because they put you in a pants up now. Killing people. I can't even believe I'm here, man. What's he saying? I can't take this, man. Shut, don't call my fucking name. Money.
I can't believe you wanted to have this battle.
Watch your tone.
What?
You talked about tone earlier, but have you seen yours?
Oh, that.
Your movie introduces its title by killing off Chief Daddy in this grandiose slow motion and then follows it by playing, and I'm quoting the actual Netflix subtitle, upbeat music. Does your movie know how to keep tone consistent? Dragging Chief Daddy's body while playing upbeat music.
don't do this. Oh my God, don't do this.
Just that one. 2 times.
The whole movie is tonally confused. Do you remember the high fives and shaku shakus at the will reading?
Yeah, it was happy times. It was the end of the movie. But since you brought up music, please can we agree that Files from my movie had the better fancy song?
You're moving mad. Before you chat to me, who's your dad?
As long as we agreed that Layla had the better eyebrows.
Your movie underutilized talented actors.
Hey, didn't your movie waste Bisola?
What, we had Bisola? But your movie wasted actual legends like Patience and Kim. They're a shadow of the characters from the OG Chief Daddy. Literally.
Don't act like your movie used them well.
At least we gave them a decent amount of lines. Your movie wasted Iniedu.
Is that really a bad thing?
Bad example.
Yummy.
But your movie couldn't even get back RMD. When the guy who said yes to fine wine says no to you.
Excuse me?
Wow, same RMD that barely wanted to be in your film.
I'm sorry. But I really have to go.
You want to talk about not wanting to be in people's films? 2 words. Beverly Naya.
You know, character, was uncomfortable and unhappy,
What a coincidence! That's how she looked throughout the movie. It's like she saw how things were going and she went, nope. But then she stayed for some reason. I don't know. Some reason. Donatus, I hope you're putting the reason on the screen, oh.
I got this.
Chief Daddy 2 showed no respect to the characters the OG Chief Daddy created or their supposed arcs.
Yeah? Tell me about these characters Chief Daddy 2 ruined.
Zainab's character, who was a trained psychologist and was initially bringing the family together, is now apparently leaking stuff to sabotage the family as a blogger.
Oh, don't act like your film respects its own characters. Linda Ejiofor's character is someone who apparently only answered the call to be at Chief Daddy's because she had a will reading.
You're reading the will. I'm on my will.
But when it's announced there's no will, she still sticks with the family despite poor treatment. Why?
I've always been ashamed.
In the OG Chief Daddy, it sets Shafi as a competent designer, and it sets up Funke and Kate's characters as really good salespeople. So why did your movie turn them into incompetent morons who got into business for some reason and cannot manage to keep it open?
What is someone meant to do with these 2D plot devices you gave me? They're not even distinguishable from one another. How many people have a different character trait other than they hate the others and they want Chief Daddy's inheritance? What's different about Iniedo's character or Kate and Funke's character and Tijoke's character? These are all the same people. They're all catty people fighting for wealth.
At least in my movie, Famsi had a passion for music and a love interest and that dodgy British accent.
Yeah, my movie took that and fleshed it out.
By fleshed it out, do you mean more of the same thing?
Alright, what did you want me to do with Famsi's character? Dig into his personal grieving of his father while exploring quirks like the potential insecurities behind why Famsi talks in an accent people are confused by?
Yeah, that actually sounds like it could be interesting. Why didn't your movie do it?
Why didn't your movie do it?
Don't worry about it.
Because these guys watching now haven't liked the videos.
Huh? That doesn't make any sense.
Just like the video, let's get back to the fight. All the stories in your movie are all over the place and nonsensical.
Do you even have a story? Like, what's the plot for your movie?
You know, Chief Daddy dies and his family come to fight for his property.
By fighting, do you mean waiting for the will to be read? At least my film has stories. Famsi chasing his music dreams while trying to be responsible.
No unnecessary spending.
Yeah.
Traveling to go see
Sandman.
to help him
Get from down here to up there, man.
because of one information. Yeah, very responsible.
Okay, but there's the Kate Henshaw and Funke Akindele love adventure.
Oh yeah, the one that ends in incest.
We want you. We can share with sisters, okay?
At least they got houses from it though.
2 houses with well manicured lawns.
Fine.
Yay, female empowerment!
Your movie, female empowerment.
Men are trash. But it's up to us to train them.
Oh, how is Layla's PA able to pay for these houses?
I don't know, it's probably Layla, who's the main antagonist, and she stands between the family and their bag, which is another story. The main one, in fact, I think.
It's time for you all to feel it.
Oh, so since it's the main one, I imagine you solved the problem creatively.
Yeah, you know, Dami had a chat with her and said she was family, and she was like, okay.
Didn't Fowles do that?
Obviously, we're one big family. I'm your brother, you're my sister. But I don't think you should speak to Mumsy like that, man.
I'm not your sister.
Yeah, but Dami had to do it. So.
That's interesting.
But given that she's, how did you put it, the main antagonist and standing between the family and their bag, it must be very difficult for the family to forgive her for all she's put them through the entire movie.
Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
I'm just keeping with tradition. How did you solve the conflicts of your movie?
Dami had a conversation with Lady K and all was forgiven.
You didn't deserve it, and we're sorry.
And don't you forget, he does this only because RMD calls them back into the house as everybody was about to leave.
Can we all go back in?
Yep, I remember that. Ugh, you don't have to remind me.
And yet, he did.
So what was the moral of your story? Because at least mine had one.
Which was?
Family.
We find out that Chief Daddy has left us without an inheritance. But I found family and gained a jewel of inestimable value.
For real?
Yeah, it was meant to be, you know, the real inheritance we got with the friends we made along the way.
Then why are they still fighting over the money in my part?
I don't know, that's your movie's problem.
Wait, are you sure they're not getting the inheritance? Because part 2 starts with...
Because of the IPO, the money and other terms detailed in the will remains inaccessible until the process is concluded.
Look, I don't know what happened. I can't tell you for a fact that there definitely wasn't weed involved in that mess of an ending, but that wasn't what was trying to be portrayed. It's family is more important than money.
Family, they say, is everything. Sometimes discovering true family starts with a rude awakening.
Maybe, it was a few years and everybody forgot the lesson, so they had to learn it again by part 2.
Not in movie time. Wait, how much time had passed in Chief Daddy 2? Because we seem to pick up from where we stop, but at the same time, Shafi, Kate and Funke have also had time to enter business together and start failing.
I will beat you.
I don't know, I'm tired.
Why are these movies so awful?
Is it because the original story was created to make money and not actually tell a story?
Don't blame this on my film. All films are made to make money.
Yeah, but ideally you want to have someone or people with a vision that have a story that would be good enough for people to buy into. But I think Mo had an idea to pack as many celebrities in a movie and generate buzz. I don't think the screenwriter had any idea how many stars they would have at the time of writing Chief Daddy, because confirming that many stars to be available would be a headache for any studio. It's very possible the screenwriter kept having to adjust the script because more stars kept on signing on to the project. Certainly, if you look at this movie, most of what happens has zero consequences on the ending. You can easily imagine cutting out a bunch of people and all Dami has to do at the end is still have a conversation with the lady to resolve the conflict. Of both films. Both films at the core are hollow, but they fail differently. Mine fails although it tried with the multiple stories and the flashy post-production, and yours fails to even try anything. Like a nothing burger.
Yeah, but yours was like a sewage burger.
Yours was lame.
Whatever, mine still made a lot of money.
Mine's still number 1 on Netflix.
Damn, who keeps watching these things?
Oi! You! Yeah, you guys watching Chief Daddy. If you don't like these type of films, can you watch something else for goodness sake?
This one is coming to Netflix and this is coming to Nigerian cinemas.
Yeah, you should really go watch this one. We've seen it twice and it's good. Spoiler-free review coming soon.
This one is coming to Netflix and we've heard good things about it. Watch it, then you can come discuss with us live on our Nollywood Film Club on Spaces on Twitter. It's usually Sunday 6 p.m. West African time.
Follow us for more info.
Click like if you liked the video, dislike if you didn't, and subscribe if you're here to stay. While you're here, tell us in the comments, who do you think won? Chief Daddy 1 or Chief Daddy 2?
And then tell us which one you like better, because that's a different thing.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I have a theory.
Tell me.
The guy who did the subtitle for Chief Daddy 2 is an Igbo man.
Why do you say so?
Well, Fall said Peng Ting, and the subtitle says painting.
Plus a sweet little painting with a big bunda.